Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the NFC Championship game on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the New Orleans Saints. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl. And we've got a classic in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the New Orleans Saints. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
The excitement level around here at a fever pitch as we're underway in the 2020 NFC Championship game. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On second down, Kamara across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and makes sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Come on, let's go! What?
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he's got a moonwalk. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Brissett. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go! What? None!
Out of the gun, Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Jimmy Graham, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
Sturgis for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
He navigates, he manipulates, he cycles through progressions with laser-like focus, and he can make any tough throw that you need because he'll stand in the pocket and make it happen.
On 1st and 10, Luck. Bryant with a catch right side. Oh, now he bowls him over. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
675.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now it's Luck off the bootleg. And this is incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively. Now look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I was so proud of you in our meeting with the defensive coordinator because you asked the question that set him off. And all you said was, so what improvement do you need to see this? Boy, he got fired up, didn't he? Takeaways. We need turnovers. We got to create them. Got so animated, jumped up in our meeting. It was fun to watch.
Somehow I always upset a coordinator in those meetings. Yeah. But they like you. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. A shotgun snap for Luck. And he comes back with one complete. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a 1st down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one. And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play?
and they responded to the challenge.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
A give. This is Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you just don't.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going, and being able to make a play on the football.
On second down, here's Fournette. And now running right through it. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Now Leonard Fournette. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. He's going to get it running right. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. First quarter touchdown run. Remember this coming on the heels of his NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. It was so great last week.
Did you feel the rumble all the way up here?
The big bodies up front.
Big bodies moving people, and him, of course, charging through those great holes that were created.
So off to a great start here. Maybe looking for award number 2, adding to the award that he won last week in the NFC. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Brissett now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Brissett. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Let's go!
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. This is caught. It's Cooks. Brandon Cooks. Touchdown, Cardinals. Brandon Cooks, 55 yards. And the Cardinals are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The pitch to Fournette. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Love. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. They're starting to put some space here. In the first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. They'll run. This is Kamara. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Brissett now. And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking, able to establish themselves, control the game by running it.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Derek Barnett, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Out of the gun, Luck. Completes it to Miller. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Come on, let's go!
Play fake, Brissett. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now Brissett. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
end zone. Love. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Zach Miller as tight end there, and it's third down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And this is good for a first down, his second grab of this NFC Championship bout. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Luck on first down. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner. Toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart. Valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Coleman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Pretty move. Touchdown, New Orleans. Tevin Coleman, 36 yards. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
10 yards there to start the drive and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They go play action with Brissett. Letting one go deep for a new. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He couldn't hook up with a Nunwa that time. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that at this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
On second down, here's Locke. He's going to walk one. Deep left. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dez Bryant, 56 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here we go. 1-9.
Throwing again, Brissett on second and 10. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Here's Brissett. He gets it to Cooks. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's go.
Brissett again. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, and it's 3rd and 5.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Again, it's Brissett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20, and the return will stop right around the 25. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Back to throw. Love. Completion left side to Miller. Oh, now he bowls him over. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. On 1st and 10, Locke. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space. That'll bring up 2nd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to...
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. From the gun, here's Locke. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They are going for it. It's Locke. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscores. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind it, and he listened to it.
So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go, as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains in the battle to see who will take home that George Halas Trophy and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half, as one of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. To find out who, let's turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Halas Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They'll try the air now with Locke. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 36 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They stop short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Being chased out left. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
It's Coleman here. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. C.J. Mosley coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. He's picked off at his own 46. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Anunwa, the intended target.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, if like you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's Coleman. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
Now it's Locke off the bootleg. Rolling to his right. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long, and they made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like a Super Bowl trip is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Let's go!
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. Stops shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
We're set from the gun on 3rd. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this is good for a first down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Now Gallman. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. That's going to set them back 5 yards. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. following the penalty, it's Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Let's go! Try 38!
On 3rd down, Brissett. And that is incomplete. The veteran safety, Antoine Bethea, there on the defensive coverage.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on 1st down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It'll buy some time right. Bryant with a catch right side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 36. To throw is Locke. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Start down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On 1st down, it's Long. And oh, it'll be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, Brissett. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
Let's go. What? 90. What?
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And this is good for a first down, his second grab of this NFC Championship bout.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Now Brissett. The connection made. It's Graham. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throw complete right side to Cooks. He's up north of 100 yards receiving now in this NFC Championship game. And it's a first down. Brissett now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
Into the air once more. It's Brissett. Incomplete.
That one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an out.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Noah Spence in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Our focus now moving to Dez Bryant as he heads back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This is Coleman. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. They will run again with Coleman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in his zone. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He had to run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards on the play. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Come on, let's go.
First down, Brissett. And left side here, it's Graham. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Here we go.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Drops this up to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Brissett to throw on first. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
Brissett on 1st down. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Sturgis adds the PAT, and that will shave one more off this lead. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Throwing now, Luck. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. A shotgun snap for Luck. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. The offense on third down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at third and a few inches. Coleman now. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Tevin Coleman saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Second down, Brissett again. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Anunwa again the intended target. And now it's third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
Returnable for Thomas. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Luck gonna throw it. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety.